Welcome to another video. If you watched my last one about the patchwork blanket, you will know I changed my plans more than once because I didn't know what was in my fabric closet. Basically because it's a mess. So in today's video I want to put a solution to that. This past summer I went through a move and I realized I had a lot of things that I didn't use. I got rid of a lot of trash and I also donated a lot of clothes. A few months later, I took another look at my closet and refilled bags to donate again. I'm not really a shopper, I just keep all things just in case, and they have been accumulating over the years. Especially since I started sewing, because any old cloth seems to me to have the potential to make a project, so I kept a lot of fabric. These past 2 weeks I decided to put a stop to this unproductive accumulation and declutter this physical and psychological space. I started by taking everything out and sorting them into 3 piles: keep, donate, and upcycle. The upcycle pile was the most problematic because it occupied a lot of physical space, but also space in my mind. Every one of these pieces was saved to serve a project idea that didn't see the light. It's a pile of undone ideas waiting in my mind. This t-shirt has an unflattering shape, but I love the fabric, so I kept it. This old pair of jeans were to be a fanny pack. I wanted to upcycle this dress into a skirt, and I have a lot of small scraps from other projects, without knowing what to do with them. I'm aware I won't be able to make all these projects in the short term, but it feels good to finally take them out of the wardrobe. The first thing I did to unblock action was to make a list of projects that were within my abilities and discard fabrics or store them more efficiently. Now, if you've been to my channel before, you will know that I love making handmade gifts. So for my first project I had some gifts in mind. I finally got an idea for all the scraps from other projects. They were waiting to be upcycled into scrunchies. I didn't know this was so easy and quick to make. You just have to cut your fabric into a rectangle, fold it in half with the right sides facing each other, and sew a straight stitch. Then fold it like this and make a burrito with the inside fabric so you can seam it with a straight stitch, leaving space to turn it inside out later. You're going to have to pull the fabric as you go. Then I turned the fabric right side out. Using a clip, I inserted the elastic and fed it through the fabric tube. Once the elastic is completely inside the fabric tube, I made a knot and left the opening to hand sew it later. These homemade scrunchies were so fun, I ended up making a lot of them, experimenting with different fabrics and sizes to create a variety of looks for my friends.
This morning has so clear a light as any to see the horizon in the far. Excuses were 2 for a penny, but they've all gone out the window of this car. And when I feel the wind on my face, all that ever was is a rise.
The second project is also hair related. I had this t-shirt I thrifted. It goes with these pants I'm wearing in the video, but the shape of the top isn't really flattering, and I never wore it. Although it looks like it doesn't have much fabric, I managed to make 3 pieces out of it. another scrunchie, a headband, and a bandana. This was also an easy project. I just had to cut one piece for the bandana. I reused one of the top strips, so it was ready to insert the elastic. Once I had all the pieces, I had to hem the sides and sew. I inserted the elastic band through the strip, then I pinned and sewed both ends to secure the elastic. After that, I attached the strip to the bandana, folding it like this, and then sew it. Finally, turning it inside out and it's ready. This was my first bandana and I'm in love with it. I will make more for sure. Now, for the turban headband, you will need 2 rectangles for the turban, a strip and another elastic band. Fold in half each rectangle and with the wrong sides facing the outside, make a straight stitch. Insert the elastic in the shorter strip and turn everything inside out. Fold one of the turban pieces in half and attach it to the strip, using the same method as the bandana. It can get a little bumpy. I broke my needle doing this, so I finished by hand. Once you have the strip attached to one of the turban pieces, put the other piece inside the ring and fold it in half. You can attach each end to the other side of the elastic strip. This turned out gorgeous, although I will have to mend it a little, because it feels a little loose. Decluttering my wardrobe and upcycling these old clothes made me feel so good. When we strip away the unnecessary, we are left with more time, energy, and mental clarity. Decluttering goes beyond our physical environment. It extends into our digital lives as well. Unsubscribing from unnecessary emails, clearing out digital clutter, and creating boundaries with technology can help us regain control and create a healthier relationship with our space. By living with less, we also become more mindful consumers. We can avoid the pitfalls of mindless shopping and impulse purchases, and instead choosing to invest in products that align with our values, products that truly enhance our lives. The next upcycling project is for this cotton dress. I bought it because I loved the fabric and bright color, but I don't wear it much because I feel too covered with the sleeves, and the neckline strips are annoying. Please don't shout at me for cutting this dress if you prefer it this way. I would rather try to make something out of it than having it sitting in my wardrobe forever. My inspiration for this was the skirt young Donna wears in Mamma Mia 2. For the waist, I took an elastic band of medium height and measured if I had enough fabric, but it would have been too short, so I took the sleeves. I made a rectangle with the same length as the skirt's waist, and about 8 centimeters high. They weren't long enough to make it in one piece, so I had to make two. I pinned the wrong sides together and attached the waist strip with the skirt. Then, for the right side, I folded the corners. I made the seam along the strip, leaving space for the elastic band. Then, using a safety pin, I inserted the elastic and tried it on to make sure it wasn't too loose. I made a double seam in the rubber and closed the side openings by hand. I added my tag and voila! I styled it with a top I made some months ago, and I love how it looks. I'm going to use this skirt a lot. If I had more fabric, and to make it even better, I would have added pockets, although I don't know how to make them yet. For the last project, I wanted to take advantage of the squares from the patchwork blanket. We cut way too many. I've been eager to experiment with rag quilting, and since we didn't do it for the blanket, we decided to extend the technique to create matching cushions. I really like this quilting style because sometimes I get very excited for a project and I rush into things and make a lot of mistakes. The rag quilt aesthetic is already chaotic, so I felt very comfortable. I think it would look amazing as a full bed quilt, maybe for another video. It was suggested by one of you that I should get a walking foot to help me quilt more easily. I will have that in mind for the next one. I would love if you could give me more ideas on what to do with the rest of the scraps and the fabric I have, and I'm also happy to receive advice from more experienced seamstresses. Here I'm cutting the back piece, replicating this pillow I made in sewing class. It's made with two rectangles overlapping each other. Normally you would sew it with the right sides facing each other and then turn it inside out. But since this is rag quilting, it's the wrong sides together. Finally, after seeing me sew for hours, my boyfriend wanted to make another pillowcase to match mine. How cute is he? He has never used a sewing machine, but he has seen his mother do it for years, so he showed an enviable skill, and his pillow turned out amazing. It's actually better than mine. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful and inspiring. Adeu!